I guess this will be one of the last times I do, oh, hello. I'm home in Ontario now. Just got home. Get the lights on because the sun's going down. This will be one of the last times I do a 2-year-old list. You know, now we have horses turned out. I'm going to have a turned out list. I should probably fill that in tonight. I'm never going to be able to finish all this. So I probably should make up a list of horses turned out. I'll tell you who's turned out on this list. But I'll run through all the 2-year-olds. They're almost outnumbered now, aren't they? So we'll start with Ailsund. Ailsund obviously is turned out in the field. We're going to give her a good 8 weeks off. Let her freshen up a little bit. She had a tough end of the season. Was not very good in her was horrible in her last start, and then in Delaware, she really was bad with herself barefoot. So we're going to give her lots of time to grow up, just to fill out and bring her back, I guess, be around the first week of December. Anteros is back training now. We got that curb fixed up on him. He trained on Saturday, I believe. I'm going to train him a mile, maybe in 25 on Wednesday. See, maybe third. I shouldn't say that. This horse was only in 30. Let's see how he feels on Wednesday. I'm going to play it by ear. Might be a mile between 25 and 35. I'll err on the side of caution when it comes to this colt training on Wednesday, but I would like to see where he's at. I keep telling everybody first part of December. It may be the first part of December. It may very well be the first part of December, but I want to get a feel of how he feels. Arctic Force. Now Arctic Force is likely going to go to Florida for the winter with Doug Brown. He'll come back up here to race a little bit. Reason being, we're just going to take a little inventory, right? Some of these horses with the foot issues, sore feet, Spirit of Dio. She doesn't need to train back on a half-mile track where she's not going to get around a half-mile track. She's just too big and immature. She's had a fantastic end to her year. She won her last start in 56. Obviously, all signs point to her being a pretty productive 3-year-old. There's no need to train her back on a half-mile track where she's not comfortable. So a horse like her, Arctic Force with the bruising in his feet and the issues with his feet, really Blue Chip is another horse we're going to look at. Her too, her feet get really shelly and really easily bruised and sore. And then of course we were talking about Knockdown Dragout. I didn't get a chance to catch up with Nifty Norman, as he was one of the trainers put forward for Knockdown Dragout. I did catch up to John Bootenchain and told him that the filly was likely going to Florida, and I didn't know which trainer we were sending her to yet. He said he's open for business if we need him. So, back to Arctic Force. Arctic Force is turned out now. Had a great finish to the year. I did get a chance to catch up to John McDonald, who drove Arctic Force in his last race. He told me, geez, he's a really nice colt. You told me he was a bit lazy. He said he was awesome in the mile. He said, same thing. He said if he hadn't got away where he got away and had to move him in the last 3/8, he would have had even a bigger kick on the end of the mile. And he was really impressed with him. He liked him a lot. So Arctic Force will likely be heading to Florida. Beach Boutique. She was on the left line finishing up this week. You guys saw that. She got little narrow feet. She's at the end of her 2-year year. I know she wasn't raced hard, but at the same time, you can't judge these horses on how many starts they have. They're either ready to be turned out or they aren't, and I think this filly just needs a little break. That left line stuff really shouldn't be there, so something's pinching her to have her carry across the track. Mike Zaftik said she had lots of pace. If she could have paced straight, she looks really good. Instead, she was a mediocre 6th on the left line running out. Gonna give her a little time off. Beach Bum BB is on her way back. The reason she is, Brandon wanted to get her throat looked at. She's prone, the way she carries her head, she's prone to shutting her air off, and she did it a couple of times on him in Indiana, and he got her looked at, and he said, they believe if they just trim that palate up a little bit, he thinks she'll be a really effective 3-year-old filly. She did pace 54, 55 this summer. We expected her to be okay. I think she even exceeded some expectations, and I think she had some moments where she showed some flash, so looks like she'll be a useful 3-year-old. How useful? That's going to be up to her, and really up to the other horses she's racing against. First and foremost, give her a little time off. Brandon thought if we trim that palate up, he thought it needed done. We'll have an expert look at it here. Trim that palate up, give her time to heal and time off, and then potentially get her back down there if that's the plan for her. I don't want to seem like I don't have plans for the horses, but as they mature into 3-year-olds, and as we train them back, at that point, then we start to figure out, hey, this horse looks like it's going to be suited for this class. You know, maybe we're hoping for the golds, but they're really grassroots. And the same as Beach Bum BB, if she's not going to excel in Indiana, which I assume she will, then what? What's our plan B? So we'll formulate those plans as we get a better look at these horses coming back from their 2 to 3 year old season. Where are we at here? Bottle of Red. Bottle of Red will come back. I wanted to give her 3 months, right? She had that line in her knee. She's been off for quite a while. I just have to look at my calendar, and we'll have her back in either right on or just before the 3-month mark and start training her back. I expect she's going to come back in and be a big girl. Brush Cut. We brought Brush Cut's sister yesterday. That's how much I like Brush Cut. So Brush Cut just needs time for those feet to cool out and grow down a little bit so we can get a fresh start with him next season. I think he'll be coming back. We wanted to give him 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. So we will see how, no, it was 5 to 8 weeks. I think he'll probably come back in the next 3 weeks' time. Again, it's all written down. So I'd say, to be fair, at the 5-6 week mark, we'll bring him back in. He wasn't raced hard. He was starting to look good and freshen up, and then he ended up blowing that quarter crack. So we want to give him a proper amount of time. Cabernet, I'm going to school her last schooler. I'm going to go with her on Tuesday. I'd like to go around 58, 59 with her. We'll see how she feels on Tuesday morning, and then she'll be off to the qualifiers. Canadian Titan's done her 2-year-old season. Man, oh man, she finished it off good. Made about $53,000, I think, which, you know, we don't have to be mathematicians to figure it out. By the time you buy her for 40, train her down, pay stakes on her. She didn't make money this year, but she climbed out of the hole almost. For a filly that we have high expectations for a 3-year-old. Filly makes $53,000 at 2, finishes off the year with a second and 57. It's a pretty good year, you know. I think she's going to be a nice 3-year-old trotting filly, and if the way she finished off her 2-year-old season is any barometer of how she'll come back, fresh, sharp, stronger, bigger, I get pretty high hopes for Canadian Titan in the 2020 season. Capistrano's done her season also. She battled some soreness issues in her left hind ankle all summer, raced very, very admirably, missed a few checks and went into the semifinals, the leader in the OSS, and ended up faltering, finishing 7th. But at the same time, she's a 2-year-old. She made $40,000. She'll come back at 3. Very, very impressed with her. I guess nobody can say they're not impressed with Capistrano's resolve and speed, that's for sure. Classic Con, we ended up giving him a little more time simply because he looked a little frail. He looked a little immature, and I wanted to make sure that we allowed him every chance to be the horse we want him to be. Compass Rose DC, another filly, had a really, really good year. Again, liked her so much we bought her brother. Her brother was a very affordable horse, which is shocking for the stature of him, how he looks, what he looks like, the fact that he's a Muscle Hill. I'm shocked we paid $6,000 more for him than we did the Uncle Peter's sister at 2 as a yearling at the Ohio Select Sale. So I'm Hill on Wheels is the Muscle Hill brother to Compass Rose DC. She's going to get some well-deserved time off now. She's out in the field. She'll get 8 full weeks, and then we'll bring her back. Most of these horses will be returning first week to second week of December. It's looking like our open house might be on December 15th, which would mean we will have a packed house, both likely from people and secondly from horses. We're well on our way to exceeding our levels from last year. We have about 51, 52 yearlings in the barn right now. Factor in all these 2-year-olds to come back in, and the race horses that we'll have. It's going to be full. So, where are we at? Classic Con is our Compass Rose DC is going to be coming back first week of December. Don't believe me, just watch Train Saturday. I'm going to school him on Tuesday for Kevin. We're going to aim him towards the Harvest Series at Mohawk. I think it's the 18th, maybe the 15th. I'm not sure, somewhere around there. Enduring Strength finished 8th the other night. Obviously, he didn't go over his illness as we had hoped. Didn't get over his illness, but we do have him paid into the Harvest Series also. So we'll clean him up. I'd like to clean him up real good and then race him in the Harvest Series. I'll talk to Mario about that tomorrow. Excellent Nation is back training. Looks great. Saw him on the track the other day. For a horse, it was always a little choppy, a little clappy. He looks fantastic right now and looked really, really good the other day when I saw him on the track. The other day, I guess, 8 days ago. Forged in Fire is back jogging now full time. He looks like $1 million, this horse. He had most of the year off, so he should look good. Unfortunately, this is the horse that had the throat operation So I really don't know what to expect. I guess we'll continue to revisit this, I guess, as we go along. This isn't something that will reoccur. It is something that did occur. It was fixed. Did he lose some of himself? Not physically, but, well, metaphorically speaking. Is he going to be a watered-down version of himself now? It's possible. I don't know. He's the only one that can answer that. So we'll see as he starts training down how he seems. But as of right now, he looks like $1 million. Frontier Cruise, again, I did break down and pay him into the Harvest Series only because he looks so good. It seems like the more we race him, the fresher he gets. He's just starting to grow into himself and fill into a nice horse. So again, we'll probably let his hobbles out a bit more and bring him over to Mohawk next week to race him. Giddy Up Max is done for the season. Had an okay season. Took a 2-year-old mark of 56. Now I want to see some more from him in his 2020 season. But we'll get another horse. We'll get him back first part of December. Globetrotting is will be the last one standing this year. Hopefully, the Breeders' Crown. Now, a lot of people are concerned she's going into the Breeders' Crown off 30 days, 46 days before her last charted line race to race. But we schooled her last week in 57. We're going to school her next week in 56, 57. I just don't want a chance racing her and have her make a break. If she makes a break, she would have to qualify. I don't want to be rushing around on pins and needles hoping to qualify her so that we're eligible to the final of the Breeders' Crown. Listen, truth be known, let's call a spade a spade. Globetrotting doesn't owe you or me a cent. She's been a fantastic filly all year, and if she falters in the Breeders' Crown eliminations, so be it. But I think she belongs there. I think she deserves a shot at them, and I don't want to take any chances away from her. So she is going to school again on Tuesday, and then she'll be tight. She'll be plenty tight for the Breeders' Crown elimination. I can assure you of that. Harness AM out in the field now. Another horse. Jesus, I forgot. Another horse we bought her sister. And people say, oh, sisters. It's not like Harness AM made $400,000 and we bought her sister because of that. Harness AM was a nice filly that tries hard, and we bought a first crop Southwind Frank, sister to Harness AM. For those of you who owned pieces of Harness AM and didn't know this, we did buy her sister. Her name is Aglar AM. She's on the site now. You guys will probably see a video of her pop up this week sometime. Where are we at here, Sam? Hometown Boys. He'll be coming back in soon, I think. I wanted to give him lots of time to fill out because he's all out of chances. He's going to have to fill out, come back in, and be a productive horse, or he's going to have to be a productive horse for someone else. So I would hope that Hometown Boys is as productive as we hoped, and even a fraction of the production that his brother Cruising in Style has put out would be fine by me. I'll play it alone. We'll probably bring him back in a few weeks, start him up. I'd like to race him a little bit in London in the winter. Somebody said, well, just give him lots of time, bring him in. I want him... One, he's now figured out that he can behave and race like a normal horse. I want to see that speed come back that we saw. Sure, we're going to let him grow up, fill into himself, but I want to see him become the horse, at least show flashes again of that horse that I raced in the Meadows, that Jody qualified, that Sylvain shit his pants driving, but do it in a professional way. And if he can't, then he's just cheap speed, and there'll be lots of classes for him all winter long. Inland Beach, although she didn't go with the big girls all summer and fall, she did race admirably, took a lifetime mark of 2 minutes as a 2-year-old off half and 3 in Kawartha, and then paced in 55, 54 quite a few times, I think. So Inland Beach, we're hoping she comes back good as a 3-year-old. Jailhouse Master, he had that line in his foot. We had to give him some time off. He'll come back in probably not till January. Mid-January, going to bring him back in. So he's going to get a later start to next year. Johan cut himself, got the sutures out the other day. We castrated him because he hurt himself being an idiot. And he's become a professional idiot since we gave him all the time off. So he's going to be a professional gelding from now on. I suspect we'll start jogging him next week. Just for me and you, she races Monday or Tuesday. We'll probably race her once, maybe twice, and then turn her out. She had a lighter schedule than the other fillies this year. Has been a good filly. Drew poor again. I see 7 holes. She's a horrible poor drawer. Her and Harness AM, I've never seen horses draw bad like them. Knockdown Dragouts out in the field right now. We'll probably send her to Florida. Just don't know to which trainer yet. We're going to work on that in the coming week. But for now, Knockdown Dragout is turned out. Marazank Hanover, she's paid into the Autumn Series. I think it's London or Flamborough. I'm not sure. But she's had some tough luck, had a couple of 7s, pace 55, but is growing into herself. Drew bad again this week, so it should be great if she made some money for Daryl. You know, he's been a good client of ours, and this is a really nice filly, and Kevin's done the right thing, taking his time with her. It would be nice to see a little bit of a payoff right now, but I suspect that will be coming soon enough. Miss Brampton Beast has got the Harvest Series, and just the Harvest Series left. So she'll probably race next week. She was a winner the other day and again stalled halfway down the lane, just being green and stupid. So we're going to work on her with that. Miss Mischief Maker will come back in at the same time as Bottle of Red. They were both out at the same place for the same length of time. They'll come back in soon enough. Muscle Chrome, wanted to give her the 2 full months. My God, she looked good when she left. She's got big. I can't believe how big she grew from the day we broke her to the day we turned her out and raced in between. It's really something else. And Muscle Chrome hasn't shown that she's a great filly, but has shown a lot of grit, and I'm really interested to see what she's going to do when she comes back soon. Nancy Allison, she needed a lot of time to grow up, I think. Just, she seemed like she was getting over those mental demons, if you will, at the end of the fall, and then made a couple of breaks at the gate. I schooled her in 59, trained her in 59 in the mud, and the speed was there. Just mentally, she was having some issues. It may have been attached to something physical also. Just at the gate, as the gate sped away, she'd get out of gear and make a break. So we gave her, I want to give her some time and give her every excuse not to be a good horse, because I think she has all the tools to be a good horse. Need your opinion again. I think she's all done for the year. Just want to give her some time to grow up. This is a filly that showed tremendous talent. Not like she didn't do anything. She made $30-some thousand. A decent filly. I think has all the mental and physical tools to be a good horse, and I think she probably will at 3. Olympic Hopeful has turned out for the year. Now she's going to go to Florida with Angie. Angie will bring her back to Illinois when she comes back this spring. Overdue Mission got some time off. Another filly, had a decent year, put together a small little amount of money, but enough where you would think she probably does have a chance to be a decent 3-year-old, especially same as the next filly, Path of Totality, another filly that we turned out, had a pretty good year, took a mark of 58, trotted in 56, well-bred. No reason to think she's not going to be a nice filly also. Really Blue Chip had a decent year, trotted in 56 as a 2-year-old, 57 as a 2-year-old on a half-mile track. Not many 2-year-olds can say that. She didn't put all the money together, we'd hope. I think 35, or I don't think she got to 40,000, but showed some real flashes of talent. Her feet bother her. We'll probably send her to train back in Florida. Another filly that might go to Doug Brown in Florida for the winter. Rooney Blue Chip, we got to get him back in soon and get him going again. He was just a giant colt. Just a giant colt we gave some time off to. Going to bring him back and get him started up. Rose Run Valiant, a horse that I continue to say, I believe this will be a good 3-year-old. He's going to have to prove me right or wrong soon enough. So Rose Run Valiant is turned out. He'll come back in 1st of December when the other ones won. One that might come back in a little earlier is Rose Run Versatile. We turned her out a little bit earlier, 2 weeks before the other horse, so you might see her come back mid-November actually. Another filly, she didn't take a lifetime mark at 2, but had some real good miles. Trotted 57 a couple of times. Decent 2-year-old filly, put a tiny bit of money together, but enough where you'd think, hey, she might be a nice 3-year-old. Sebastian Hughes certainly showed a ton of speed. Took a mark at 57. Really mentally put it together at the end of the year. We always knew physically he was there. Now it's just a matter of giving him time to mature, grow up, and train him back down. Sometimes things happen. Bit of a flyer for a 3-year-old. I think he could be a nice 3-year-old. He wants to be. You know, I wanted to be a baseball player when I was young. So we'll see if sometimes things happen. Can be a productive racehorse at 3. We're going to give him a little bit of time off, bring him back. Spirited Dio, as I mentioned, will likely go to Florida. This is a filly that ended off her 2-year-old campaign with a bang, with a mark of 56-3 at Mohawk. 2nd win of the year. Shows some real speed. We're going to send her to Florida and let her stretch out for the winter. And again, her feet bother her, so probably a good reason to have her on those softer, sandier tracks down there. Sunshine and Shade, he's not done racing. He's still got the Harvest Series, the Autumn Series. He fits them both. And a little bit of racing in between. He'll probably end up with 6 or 7 starts, a short break over the winter, and then back at it for the spring. Susie K, you know what? We had a couple of clients say, geez, why didn't we sell her? You're probably right. You're probably right. We could have sold Susie K, I guess, in that lot that we sold the end of the fall. I'm going to give her a month off. Bring her back. Probably race her once in London. If we don't like what we see from Susie as a potential 3-year-old, we always have that sale in Ohio in January. I don't want to give up on her just yet. I think she wants to do it. I'm cheering for her. But I think our clients probably had a fair question. in why didn't we sell Susie K. So let's let Susie answer that before the January sale in Ohio. Trafalgar's getting very close. Harry's been in 15. I don't know if we'll have her ready for the Harvest Series. I don't know if I think I did pay her into the Harvest Series. But first things first, we want to make sure we have her 100%. She is 100% right now, but both 100% physically, mentally, and ready to go. You know, the Harvest Series is going to be full of horses like Miss Brampton Beast, who's ready to pace 54 right now. Don't know if I don't know if putting her in when she's not ready to rock is the right thing to do. So we're up against it. She's close, but not quite there yet. She'll be there soon enough, though, but she still fits the Harvest Series. She didn't make a ton of money before we turned her out, so I think Trafalgar will maybe race in the Autumn Series, the Harvest Series, certainly race in the Autumn Series. Watch Av. James finally won. We broke down. We're going to turn him out for a little bit of time, maybe 6 weeks off, I guess. James really thinks this could be a really nice horse. I'm not going to argue with him. He drives him. He was right. He said he was a nice horse. He finished third twice, paced 54, 27-3, and 28 seconds the other night in the mud. Fine. You win. We'll turn him out for 6 weeks and bring him back. Wiggle Delight. She has the Harvest Series left coming, or the Autumn Harvest Series left coming. Wasn't great in the semifinals. I expect more from her in the Harvest Series. Willpower Fashion. I'm going to give him lots of time because I like him. I think he's going to be a nice 3-year-old. Somebody asked the other day, don't you think it's a waste of time keeping a horse like Willpower Fashion? Well, considering I own the vast majority of them, no. I like the horse. And I'm going to give him a chance to be the horse I hope he is. And the horse that it looked like he was getting to be. Yeah, he had some races where he's like, geez, I don't know if he's any good. But I also drove him a couple of times where I'm like, man, oh man, he might have been third, he might have been fourth, but he's trying. He's got a giant frame. I'm going to let him grow into that frame, and I'm going to see if he's going to be a bad horse or a good horse. I'll know soon enough. We all will. And Zeb Sunshine, we castrated Zeb and turned old Zebby out. We're going to let him be whatever horse he's supposed to be. We will know soon enough about Zeb's Sunshine. Also, going to give him lots of time to come back. That family was always really, really good at 3. Yeah, he's a Sunshine Beach out of a very, very good family. Let's do right by him. We bought the horse. You guys put your money into the horse. Let's let him be the horse he's going to be. And if it's no good, we can move him on also. But we need to do what's right for him. So that's all the 2-year-olds, not the babies anymore. We got over 50 yearlings in the barn now. The last 5. The last 5 are arriving tonight from Lexington. Then we got a couple more private ones to come in over the next 2-3 weeks. And then that's it. Well, it's not it. We got London coming up. Now, I might be a little parched after Lexington, so I'm going to work hard all week to reach out to our clients and see if they're interested in some of the horses. You guys, see if you're interested in some of the horses that we have. Obviously, we brought home a three-quarter brother to Vegas Vacation. We brought home brothers and sisters of horses that we have that have connections to this stable. We brought home a really nice, I'm surprised that Better's Delight filly hasn't sold out, Keystone Raven, filly that I was certain would bring 65 to 75,000, and we bought her for 35. Thought it was a good bargain, a good deal. I think everybody's just overwhelmed with the amount of horses we have in, and they're just taking their time. So the Colts sold out. Better's Delight, Better's Hope. I'm not surprised there at all. Anyway, lots of horses to look at. The 2-year-olds are pretty well done for the year, except for a couple of horses racing in the Harvest and Autumn Series, and then obviously Globetrotting. Fingers crossed for the Breeders' Crown. I'm going to school her again on Tuesday. Lots of schoolers on Tuesday. 20 horses to break tomorrow morning. Monday morning. What's tomorrow for me? It might have been this morning for you. 20 are going to be broke on Monday morning. You can see it's getting dark. I'm all done for the night. I will get some videos of I'll do the barns. I'm actually going to go down to the barns, write down who's in everybody's barn right now. We'll get them out to you. I won't do a who's turned out. Obviously, most of those 2-year-olds, I talked about it. I'll have a list of turnouts this week, where they're at, when we think they're coming back. Not today or tomorrow. Next week, we'll do that one. There's nobody coming back next week except for Emerald Miss. So other than her, everybody's still out. So we'll do that list tomorrow. Anyway, it was a great week in Lexington, as I said. Very productive week for us. We purchased 15 yearlings in Lexington. I think we did a pretty good job. After watching everybody walk around those $1 million horses, you feel like a little bit of an ant. But at the same time, I guess you can't say Anthony without ant. But But at the same time,
recently tweeted that urban areas.
Oh my goodness. But at the same time, we had, as I said, I think we had a productive week. A lot of value I thought we found down there. And I guess we'll all know in 10 months what's what. But for now, very happy leaving Lexington. Next is London, then Indiana, then Harrisburg. For now, I'm going to work on the 51 that we got right now. Take care. Talk to you guys soon.